Well, this question brings a lot of past memories. Back when I was a kid, I wasn't really focused on the smaller details that people of my age now will see more. And the reason why I say that is because every kid is like that. We're just focused on what's in front of our plate. We don't really think about what's gonna happen next. We're not ahead of the game like our parents are, and reality. Reality is something that we can't alter. We can't. It just is what it is. It's real life and just the flow of how the world works. And and I always knew that we lived in a world, but when I was younger, honestly, when it came down to it, I got into, I think I was riding my bike, and it was down the neighborhood, and I think I was just playing around, being a kid, and I think I scraped my knee, and when I did, it was bleeding, and it hurt, and sometimes I just couldn't understand, sometimes I was just thinking, I was like, why does this hurt so much, why does this always happen sometimes, occasionally, why is it just out of the blue, why does this just seem to happen to me a lot, every time I ponder that thought, I'll come back to the house, my mom would come in with a med kit, she'd pull out, take care of my wound, I'm complaining about it, hurts, and the very thing she says is, you know what, son, that's life. Sometimes you're gonna get those scrapes and bruises because that's how the world works. You grow and you live. Sometimes you're just gonna get hurt. Being a kid, you're only focused on what makes you happy and so when they would say stuff about like, well son, the world doesn't work your way. Time doesn't wait for nobody. They will say that every day and it'll be engraved in my head every day, and we would ignore it. I realize how the world works, how people move, and how sometimes things happen and it's not in your control. Till many years later, when I'm all grown up now, all that stuff that I just threw off as nothing, how the world really works, is now engraved in my head. Now I feel guilty for it.
How did you perceive reality when you were younger? I like to think I perceived it, all the hundreds and millions of human beings that came before me. Saw it very straightforward. Well, not straightforward, more like just extremely simple. Down to the definition of simple. Uh, no effort, no pain, and full of color, man. And I like to imagine I took a lot of it for granted. Of course, you don't really get to understand just how important just it truly was. Like truly, truly, truly was. Not having responsibilities, just being able to sleep and just playing video games where the only problem you had was just trying to play video games before you were had to go to sleep at 9 o'clock, 9:30, where the only problem was trying to figure out do you eat the chicken nugget or the French fry. and I just saw it as a Looney Tune cartoon. I took for granted just a very, very great cartoon, but that they canceled, man. That they canceled. I remember this incident once, just at this park, where this dog came, man. When I was so young, I think this was like the horrible, horrible moment where I just started to realize just how cruel life could really, really be, right? So there was like this dog, right? And I was at this park, and it wasn't like no cruel dog. It was like a golden retriever. It was a big one, sure, but it was a friendly one. And I remember being so freaking scared, out of my mind. I was crying. I was so young. I was just crying and screaming, and the dog came at me, right? And it's just this horrible beast, and my father is in there, my mother is in there. It's just me. I'm all by myself at this, just all by myself. And it comes at me. I remember it. I thought it was trying to bite my face off, but it was just licking me, and it was just licking me, man. And I'm embarrassed to say it, but I pissed myself. Man, I pissed the holy hell out of myself, man. I remember seeing the old woman come and take him. And I just remember the first time I really got a taste of life was walking home covered in my own piss, being laughed at by some freaking big kids. I know. What a pussy, right? But I guess that part of that piece of little wuss is still in me a bit. But to be honest with you, I envy that young philosopher Jones that day more than this one. You best believe that.
You know, it's funny. Um, if you want to know anything about me, um, I think about serious stuff more than I think about being happy. And I mean, obviously, we can't. We're human. We live in variety. We live in moderation. Just the other day at work, I had one of my main boss. She's pretty cool. Uh, I remember we were just she took me out at lunch. It was just another day at lunch. We were just chilling, eating wings, just enjoying our time. And I guess somehow out of nowhere she said, "You know what? You're an old soul." No, of course, I was kind of like, are you sure about that? She straight up told me it, and she's pretty honest and very receptive. So she told me, she was like, you are an old soul. An old soul is someone, basically, if I were to sum it up in more simpler terms, basically someone of my age, 19, 15, that has knowledge of someone who's a little bit more older. It's weird. I've always thought about stuff like that. Like, I always thought about my peers, the people around me. Do they really understand and think like me? I don't think people understand how reality works. I don't think people think about the details of how this world really works. I don't think people think about it. Despite people thinking about some real crap, when they're high. But the reason why I say that is because if you think about it a lot, reality really works. You would live by it. If you have your own definition, I think you really believe in that definition. And I don't really think people understand it. People who are just walking around doing the same thing, not doing anything. They're all the same. Think about this a lot. People are like NPC traffic. Sometimes you're gonna have people break the system and be something different than just an NPC. That's why you have your celebrities, people who are successful. Because this perspective of reality is something that you believe in, that you would do. Most people don't understand it, I don't think people understand how the world really works. Because, yeah, it's complicating. Yeah, life sucks, but I don't think they understand. We're not really compatible at all. We can make compatibility work, but I don't think they understand that we're not meant to be here. But we're here. If that was the case, if they could really understand how it works, then things would be different.
Do you believe people understand your perspective of reality? Hmm. Of course, the world is a great place. There are many species and many thoughts and many minds and many organisms. Um, I do believe there are some others who share my perspective, share my thought process, but I usually think as of now I'm really surrounded by people who believe in the opposite. What is reality to you? You ever heard the phrase, never meet your heroes? That's exactly what reality is like. Don't meet your heroes because you can get disappointed. Well, there's a luxury to celebrities compared to reality. At least with celebrities, you may never meet your heroes who are celebrities, but unlike reality, you unfortunately have to cross this path every day, and you gotta see it for how sick and how disappointing it truly is, and how scary it really is. So scary that when you think about it so much and for so long and so intensely, think about all the, or try your best to think about all like the intricacies and the minutiae of it. It just will drive you completely insane. Insane. That may be another word to describe reality. Insane, because to figure out that there's a universe out there, but there's only one planet that has life on it, and it's endless, and it's endless, it's endless, it's endless, and you can explore it, and you will find nothing but yourself. But this planet, this blue planet with very green grass, with delicious water, with clouds that spit out raindrops and snowflakes, and your your race, your horrible race that kills each other, that rapes each other, are the only things out there, are the only things in this universe, the only thing in this universe, the only thing in the Milky Way, the only thing in the universe, the only thing in the solar system, the only thing in the galaxy that is alive, sentient. I just, that's insane. It's just insane. It may be disappointing to the young philosopher Jones. Huge, huge disappointment. And maybe that comes from me just starting out my life as an adult, so maybe I don't know how truly hopeful happiness is, but so far it's just been a crazy disappointment. I mean, you try your best, but sometimes you just doesn't work. Disappointment, but there is happiness, and there is some happiness. There's some happiness when you take a hot shower, happiness when you sometimes just drive and just listen to your loud music, or play video games, or even like talk to your friends, or get on YouTube, or or sometimes if you're lucky to have family, a mother and a father, a mother who gave birth to you, it's there's happiness there in her great food that she cooks. And then there's hate, the hate of your own body, the hate of your own friends, your own family, your person. People are so miserable and just hateful. They see someone walking and they just want to just grab him and just hurt him. Hate at yourself, your own insecurities. Am I too tall? Am I too short? Am I fat? I'm too skinny. I'm too fat. I'm too tall. My voice is raspily and nasally. It's too high. It's too low. It's all this. It's all that. It's a disappointment. But the true way I can sum it up is
What is reality to you? To be honest, I really don't know. When you say that, makes me think about why we're here. What is our purpose? What do we gain by walking around on this earth? What what is the whole point? Reality to me can mean many things. I don't know. I feel like sometimes reality is an open book lesson. I feel like sometimes reality is trying to say something. It's weird, sometimes I see things that happen in life. It's like at first it sounds okay, alright, then it sounds dumb. My mom said some real stuff one time. Despite how naive and hard-headed I was back then, I remember I was forced to go to do these social event clubs, things with like other people and kids of my age. And I hated doing those things. I was like, man, I don't fit in. I just want to stay in my room. But they did that. They were like, hey, you just do nothing, go do something. And I didn't say anything back because I knew it was unavoidable. It was inevitable. I had to do it. Until a moment of silence passed, and she said, sometimes in life, you're just gonna have to do things you don't want to do. Sometimes in this world, things just go a way that you just don't know whether it's gonna be good or bad. You just gotta do it. I looked at her face. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't angry. She had a look like she knows more than anyone else in this world. That gave me a lot of respect. Because, reality is exactly how it is. I believe everyone has their own perspective to it. Reality to me, I feel like it's saying something to me. This world is reality. Everything you see in this world is normal. No matter how goofy it looks, no matter how dumb you may have theories about it and may think it's stupid, but that's reality. We're all just puppets playing into the system of reality. It doesn't matter what you think about it. That's reality. Reality isn't nothing else. Reality is something that is always right. Your perception may be different, but reality is always a step ahead of you. Always.